Reflexive pronoun and intensive pronoun. What is the difference between reflexive and intensive pronouns? Reflexive and intensive pronoun are like twins. They look the same, but they are actually different. Both of them end in self or selves. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves are examples of reflexive and intensive pronouns. Those examples can be reflexive or intensive pronouns depending on how they are used in the sentence. Let's deal first with reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronouns are pronouns used after a verb or preposition. They are used to indicate the same person or thing as the subject. Meaning, reflexive pronouns are used when the subject and the object of the verb are the same. Examples. In sentence number 1, I hurt myself. I is the subject, hurt is the verb. The object of the verb, the one receiving the action, is myself. Myself is an example of a reflexive pronoun. Myself also refers to the subject, I. So I and myself are the same person. In sentence number 2, Jody prevented herself from falling. Jody is the subject, prevented is the verb. The object of the verb, the one receiving the action, is herself, which is a reflexive pronoun. Herself also refers to the subject, Jody. So Jody and herself are also the same person. Reflexive pronouns are a necessary part of the sentence. Let's find out why. We have here sentences with reflexive pronouns. In sentence number 1, we got it for ourselves. Ourselves is the reflexive pronoun. What if we remove ourselves in the sentence? Our sentence will be, we got it for. Do you think this sentence still makes sense after we remove the reflexive pronoun ourselves? No, it doesn't make sense anymore. Why? Because it became confusing. The reader is left wondering what the sentence is about. We got it for. So the sentence has an incomplete thought. If we put back again the reflexive pronoun ourselves and read the entire sentence again, we got it for ourselves. Does the sentence make sense now? Yes, it does. How about in sentence number 2? Mario reminded himself of the work to be done. Himself is the reflexive pronoun. What if we remove himself in the sentence? Our sentence will be, Mario reminded of the work to be done. Do you think this sentence still makes sense after we remove the reflexive pronoun himself? No, also, it doesn't make sense anymore. Why? Because, like in sentence number 1, it also became confusing. The reader is left wondering what the sentence is about. We don't know who Mario reminded of the work to be done. So the sentence also became meaningless. If we put back again the reflexive pronoun himself and read the entire sentence again, Mario reminded himself of the work to be done. Does the sentence make sense now? Yes, it does. That's why reflexive pronouns are a necessary part of the sentence. It is essential to understanding the meaning of the sentence. We're done with reflexive pronoun. Now let's go tackle intensive pronoun. Intensive pronouns may be placed after the noun or pronoun or at the end of statement or sentence. They are used to emphasize the nouns or pronouns to which they refer. When we say emphasize, we are giving special importance to something. Examples. In sentence number 1, she approved the project herself. She is the subject, herself is the intensive pronoun. Herself is placed after the sentence. Herself emphasizes the subject, she. In sentence number 2, he himself built that house. He is the subject, himself is the intensive pronoun. Himself is placed after the word he, which is an example of a pronoun. Himself emphasizes the subject, he. Unlike reflexive pronouns, intensive pronouns are not a necessary part of the sentence. Let's find out why. So we have here sentences with intensive pronouns. In sentence number 1, I did it myself. Myself is the intensive pronoun. What if we remove myself in the sentence? Our sentence will be, I did it. Do you think this sentence still makes sense after we remove the intensive pronoun myself? Yes, it still makes sense. Why? Because the reader can still understand what the sentence wants to convey, and it is to inform the reader that a person did it, and that person is the subject, I. How about in sentence number 2? She herself prepared the food. Herself is the intensive pronoun. What if we remove herself in the sentence? Our sentence will be, she prepared the food. Do you think this sentence still makes sense after we remove the intensive pronoun herself? Yes, also, it still makes sense. Why? Because like in sentence number 1, the reader can still clearly understand what the sentence wants to convey, and it is to inform the reader that a person prepared the food, and that person is the subject, she. That's why intensive pronouns are not a necessary part of the sentence, because intensive pronouns only add emphasis to the subject of the sentence. We could take out or remove an intensive pronoun from a sentence and the sentence would still make sense. Summary. A reflexive pronoun is used when the subject and the object of the verb are the same. It is a necessary part of the sentence. Since an intensive pronoun is used for emphasis, it is not necessary to the sentence. You could take out an intensive pronoun from a sentence and the sentence would still make sense. So that's it guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from my video today. If you like my video, please click the subscribe button below and the notification bell for you to be updated on my next video. Have a nice day guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.